Fanatics, first and foremost, I want to just say thank you. We all only have so much time in a day, and for you to give a group of friends some of that time to just listen to us come together, talk about sports that we love and whatnot, just thank you, first and foremost. I'm one of your co-hosts, Eric Good, but my friends call me Easy. I don't know why they call me Easy. You'll have to ask my middle brother. He gave me that nickname years ago. Don't know why. Maybe one day we could have him on the show and he'll explain why everyone calls me Easy. So now you have to be asking in that case, hey, guy, that's all fine and well, but it's a sports podcast. What are your favorite teams? It's a great question. Now, for the NFL, up until a couple of weeks ago, I would have told you my favorite team was the Dallas Cowboys. But I think I've reached a breaking point with them. So going forward, we'll have to see. But as of right now, I don't know who my favorite team in the NFL is anymore. And I never thought I'd come to that point, but here we are. Now, when it comes to the NBA, originally, as a kid, I was a Phoenix Suns fan. And the reason I was a Phoenix Suns fan was because of Charles Barkley. I don't know what it was about Charles Barkley, but I just was a big fan of his. I mean, now I can tell you why I love Charles Barkley. Good, I was a fan of the Suns until Barkley left and the Lakers drafted this young kid named Kobe Bryant. And I gravitated towards Kobe. And as far as it goes, the rest is history. I've been a Laker fan since. The NMLB, it's the Yankees. And that fandom came to me naturally because my grandfather was a big Yankees fan. Used to watch Yankees games together. And I just thinking about that time, man, it's just, what you would give sometimes just to have one more opportunity to do something. NHL, big Penguins fan. Mario Lemieux got me into the Penguins. I was not an NHL fan at all. Then all of a sudden, one day I'm watching the story, see about Mario coming back, and I was like, I want to check more about this guy. And got me into being a Penguins fan. And of course, Sidney Crosby has kept me as a Penguins fan. And, Penguins haven't been doing as well as they did there. And those teens, was late aughts, early teens, but hey, can't leave a team just because they haven't been winning in a few years, can you? Comes to NCAA, I'm Virginia Tech everything. But I also am a fan of VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University's men's basketball team. That run they went on years ago, that havoc defense that they love to play, just brought me in and out. I'll always, unless they're not playing Virginia Tech, I'll always find myself rooting for VCU as well. When it comes to the WNBA, I originally was a Sparks fan. Now, I don't know. I could see myself gravitating towards the Sky. I've become a very big Angel Reese fan. So, we'll see where it goes there. When it comes to the English Premier League, I'm a Manchester United fan. Don't ask me why. That's just the team I gravitated towards. So, hey, sue me. MLS, I'm a Sounders fan. When it comes to mixed martial arts, I used to be a big follower. I came in probably right around the time that John Jones started facing, he was facing off against Rashad Evans. But what really pulled me in was Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen. That the lead up and the fight itself, that really pulled me in. But now this day, I'm not really the biggest MMA fan. Of course, my friends follow it, so I follow it to a degree. But I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a UFC fight or anything like of what the sorts. But that's where we are. When it comes to boxing, I used to be a big fan as well. Once again, one of those days, grandfather loved boxing and, got into it. But I've really fallen off with boxing over the years. So, yeah, those are my favorite teams and whatnot. So now I guess, let me see. What sparked my love for sports? Well, like I said earlier, my love for baseball comes from my grandfather. And then my love for football actually comes from a stepfather. Years ago, he was a Cowboys fan. That's what got me to the Cowboys. Then all of a sudden, for some reason that I could just not fathom, he decided to go back to his hometown Patriots. Don't ask me why. But yeah, that sparked my love for sports. And just from there, if it's a sport, if I haven't watched it or I don't watch it, at some point I watch that sport. My first sports memories. That's a good question. I would have to say my first sports memory would be watching Yankees baseball with my grandfather. Probably about 5, 6 years old, watching a random game on television and whatnot, and just, the way he was teaching me the game, explaining it to me, it grabbed me, and the rest is history, basically. Uh, who would be my favorite or my sports hero inspiration? I wouldn't necessarily say I have a hero, but the guy that just turned my sports fandom up to a new level would be Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. Just watching him out there on the court, it's just like, it's like watching art in motion. And that's the best way I can explain it. That's why, like I said, I gravitated towards the Lakers as a fan was just because of Kobe Bryant. I mean, yeah, Shaq in there was nice too, but it's always more of a Kobe guy than a Shaq guy. What's my all-time favorite sports moment or a game, a play, or a season? Well, for a game, I'd have to say the 2003 American League Championship Series, Game 7. Just the way that game, Boston went up 5-0. And it felt like, well, this is it. And then just the way the Yankees clawed back into that game, they tied it at 5-5, going to extras, and Aaron Boone hits that walk-off home run. Just the range of emotions in that game was just insane. It exploded. But my favorite play, I have quite a few, actually. We could go the alley Kobe Shaq threw to each other, that Kobe threw to Shaq in the 2000 Western Conference Finals. We could do the back tap of the 2002 Western Conference Finals when Vlade Divac back tapped to Robert Horry for the game-winning 3. We could go to 2010 NBA Finals. Ron Artest hits that 3 that basically puts the Lakers ahead to stay. But if you want to take a moment that isn't from one of my favorite teams, then it has to be the 2006 NLCS Game 7. And that catch that Indy Chavez makes against the wall. Not just that, the fact that he makes it in front of the AIG sign that says the strength to be there, and he had the strength to be there on that catch was just, it lives in my head rent-free, especially every year right around the beginning of baseball season and the beginning of the postseason. Just, I love that play. And then my favorite season, I would have to say, would either be, honestly, the 2014 or 2016 Dallas Cowboys seasons. 2014, they were coming off 3 8-8 seasons. Nobody really expected anything from them. And then they just kept churning off. They lose to San Francisco. So, doom and gloom to start the season. And then they just keep churning off win after win after win. And it's like, man, this could be something special. Well, it was. So we once again got to the divisional round in 2016. Young Rook has to take over because Tony Romo gets injured. Once again, doom and gloom. Lose the first game to the Giants. And then the way they just rolled off all of those wins. That, unfortunately, once again, fail in the divisional round. But sometimes the things we hold dearest have a sad story at the end. So, you know, that those would be my favorite seasons. So, what would be a quirky superstition that I have sports wise? I will say that I will not buy a hat before the start of any season. It seems like if I buy a hat prior to the season, that season is already doomed. If I buy it after the season, as a certain window, I want to say it's like, okay, like baseball, I can buy it from the end of the season for the Yankees until January 1st of the calendar year. Football, after the season until probably the draft, I can buy a hat. But that's my superstition is that I will not buy a hat prior to a season or during a season unless that season's just jinxed. Like if you're already eliminating whatnot, great time to be buying a new hat because hey, I can't jinx what's already jinxed. Let's see. So what inspired us to do this podcast? Well, basically, you turn on your ESPNs, your Fox Sports ones, or your stations like that. And it feels like, of course, you get a reporter's perspective. You get things from a player's perspective. But we wanted to do something where you could come and get things from a perspective that a lot of us share, from the perspective of a fan. So, you're not going to get this guy is 6-0 when it's 20 degrees outside and he throws 2 touchdown analysis. That's not what we do here. We sit there, of course, we will give you facts. We will give you stats, but, we give you through the eyes of fans, and what we love, how we break it down, how we look at it. What's the goal for this podcast? Simple, just to give you an avenue where you can come here and you can either digest us in short clips and whatnot, or you could sit there, while you're working or while you're driving and whatnot, and give our episodes in its entirety a listen, and hopefully if we want to be, of course, educational. We want to be informative, but we also want to be entertaining at the same time. Because, we just want to give you, if you're giving us time to actually tune in, listen to what we have to say, we want you to come away feeling like a smarter sports fan, but at the same time, you feel like it's that time that you spent was worth it. So what's the craziest thing I've ever done for a team that I like? Bet on them. Because I'd be, man, you know how much money I've lost betting on those jokers. That's just, that's, it's crazy. Let's just put it like that. Um, what's one rule that I would change in sports? With all this technology we have now, why are we still using antiquated methods for officiating games? Like, I'm not saying get rid of the human officials, but we have this technology now where we can, we should know where a first down has been achieved. We have this technology now where we should know, if a guy scores a touchdown by crossing the goal line. It's just, to me, it's wild that we're still depending on such antiquated methods, in my opinion, when we have better methods that we could use, but we just aren't using them yet. Maybe we'll get there one day. Finally, what would be a guilty pleasure sports movie or show. Movie wise, it would have to be Mr. 3000. I could watch that movie all day, every day. And then for a show, I'm currently rewatching it again right now. Blue Mountain State. I just love the craziness of being a part of a college team and just some of the crazy things they have on that show, man. It's just wow. So hey, I just want to once again say thank you for giving us a listen. I hope you come to enjoy what we offer you here at Sports Fanatics United. And until next time, Fanatics.